Possessions of the day for Brazil. Here's Clark. Wow!
Clark and Angel Reese are about to face off in the WNBA for the first time, and the tension is already building. It's not just another rookie rivalry. This one has history, layers, and a lot of eyes on it. People remember the gestures, the NCAA battles, the fire, but now it's different. The stage is bigger, the stakes are higher, and both players have something to prove. Clark's already pulling ahead before the tip-off. It's in how she talks, moves, plays, and leads. Reese is still in the conversation, but Clark's name is everywhere. Not because she talks more, but because she's shown more. Her mindset changed, her body changed, her team changed. Let's dig into why she's already setting the tone.
We also got the most thorough update that we have directly from the source in Clark, talking about the left leg injury, the tightness she has been dealing with, but she downplayed it. Didn't seem to be too concerned with it, said maybe too much time in the gym has been led to it. Said she just got to be smart, has to be smart about recovery, but it hasn't cost her any time on the practice floor.
Clark came into training camp with leg tightness. Some fans panicked. The Fever didn't. They slowed her down on purpose. No rushing, no risk. Every move is calculated. It's not about preseason games. It's about being ready when it really matters. She still suited up against Brazil and gave a clear message. She dropped 16 points in just 19 minutes. She looked smooth, sharp, and focused. No brace, no limp, no panic, just buckets. That's not a player who's struggling. That's a player on a controlled timeline.
Clark, pull up three. You bet!
Indiana's being super cautious for a reason. They know what she means to the team long term. They're not just chasing a win in May, they're building a future. Holding her back a little now might launch her later. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is fully active. She's practicing, scrimmaging, and grinding. But she's not the story. She's not the one drawing game plans. She's not lighting up film rooms. Clark is doing less physically, but leaving a bigger mark.
One person to beat. Tough.
So ask yourself, who's more dangerous? The healthy player going through the motions or the star being sharpened in silence, waiting to unleash at full power? Over the summer, Clark changed her body. She got stronger, especially in her core and upper body. That wasn't random. She knew the WNBA hits harder. She prepared for that with intention, not guesswork. Her workouts went viral. Fans started calling her Creatine Caitlin, not just for the gains, but for the attitude. She wasn't lifting for looks. She was lifting for leverage.
All right, guys, we're starting a little TikTok weight room vlog. I'm gonna show you what we do.
Get the butt down. Good.
Okay, speed. Okay, speed.
Every move in the weight room was about surviving 40 minutes of physical defense from players like Kennedy Carter and Angel Reese. She said she enjoys the training. That matters. A lot of players lift because they have to. Clark lifts because it gives her control. You can see it in her balance, her strength off the dribble, her ability to absorb contact and finish plays.
So I'm hitting 140, okay? 140. All right, guys, that's our lift. We are okay, we're actually
These weren't solo sessions either. Her workouts were often with Fever staff, integrated into the team's development plan. They were building the franchise around her body as much as her shot. Angel Reese was working too, with Tim Martin, a respected trainer. But her grind didn't involve the same team-first setup. Clark's body changed with a purpose that was bigger than herself. That shows when it counts. Who's building for individual numbers and who's building for rings? Last year, Clark got an invite to Unrivaled, a high-profile off-season league. She turned it down, not because she wasn't good enough, but because she had bigger plans. She wanted her first full WNBA season to be about focus. No distractions, no brand stuff, just basketball. That says a lot, especially after a rookie season where everything was chaos, media, pressure, double teams. She could have blamed it. Instead, she learned from it: leadership, timing, trust. Those were her takeaways, not excuses.
I think it's all just really new. Like, you're starting to just a very new chapter of your life and you're trying to get your feet under you. So, I don't know. I think going into year 2, that's kind of the biggest thing for me is just I feel like I have experience in this league. I know what to expect. I know how training camp works, even though we have a new coach and I have a lot of new teammates. Like, just having that experience of how things operate, I think has provided me with a lot of confidence.
Now, in year 2, she's louder on the court, not in volume, in presence. Teammates are responding to her. She's calling out plays, adjusting the tempo, telling players where to be. It's subtle, but it's powerful. She's not just part of the team, she's the pulse.
Proud this moment, this environment, meet your expectations today.
They always exceeded. I mean, they were amazing, and just really thankful to be able to come back here and appreciate this place and these fans. Just thankful.
They do continue to show up. How important was it for you to showcase this to your Indiana Fever teammates that this is special?
Well, I'm just thankful I could bring them all here. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for them. So.
Her goals are simple: win games. She doesn't talk about stats. She talks about banners. That's a shift. Rookie Clark wanted to prove she belonged. Sophomore Clark wants to build a legacy. Angel Reese, still carrying the bad guy energy, still pushing the narrative. That's her edge.
Yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
But Clark's not reacting to it anymore. She's moved on. She's thinking bigger. One is playing for respect. The other is playing for control. That's where Stephanie White comes in. You see, she didn't just take over the Fever. She reshaped it. And she started with one question: what works for Caitlin Clark? The offense now answers that. Spacing, motion, transition. All of it built to give Clark full vision and freedom.
We're long and athletic here, and we all have the ability to guard multiple positions, so I think that'll only help us more on the defensive end.
When you look into this preseason game, do you view it more as let's get everybody reps, or more this is our final tune-up, let's really try to solidify things?
A little bit of both. We want to make sure that we're starting to make reads, that we're starting to hunt matchups, that we're starting to put each other in position to be successful. We're still tinkering with different lineups, trying to figure out, which one's the best that's going to give us the best start, which one's the best unit that's going to finish, which one's the best, like when we're subbing and meshing, what our rotations look like. So we're still going to tinker with that a little bit. Mostly that's probably the way that we're gonna kind of manipulate. But still want to get reps for a lot of people. We still want to build our quality depth and make sure that we know who can be in certain situations in the game.
And this year's Fever isn't last year's mess.
Back in a Fever uniform and to be working with her again. When we got Tosh, she was this young, wide-eyed rookie, and just learning the WNBA, learning how to play, going from being that young, wide-eyed rookie to winning multiple championships, to winning a Defensive Player of the Year, to growing into a vet and a leader that she is. She's coming back.
Natasha Howard brings rebounding and switch defense. Brianna Turner protects the paint and runs the floor. Sophie Cunningham stretches the court and brings attitude. These aren't role players. These are key pieces built to finish Clark's work.
Where it is right now.
Yeah, I think we're still on a process of figuring that out for sure. That's great why we have another preseason game here. And, try different lineups, try different things, see who works well together, and we have analytics people that are tracking all of that, so you can really see in the numbers what's working well for us and what's not. And I think everybody's embracing what their role is, and you're trying to figure that out as this goes. But nobody's trying to do too much. They're just trying to be a great team player. Everybody's supporting each other, but I think as this last preseason game wraps up, we'll have a better idea of that. And
Clark doesn't have to do it all. She just has to do what she's best at: reading the floor, making the right pass, pulling up when defenders sag. The system now fits her like a glove.
Yeah, obviously she's Caitlin's C. It's a dynamic player, and she just makes everyone around her better. So obviously being on this side of the ball with her is a lot more fun than guarding her, that's for sure. But she just kind of put everybody in position. We kind of play off her energy and how smart she is around the ball and just putting people in different places to be successful. So it's just been really fun getting to know her and getting to know her game. And we have a lot of energetic people around and on our team. So just feeding off her energy and her will to win. She wants to win, and that's been really fun. And getting to, run around with her is definitely better than chasing her around.
Chicago Sky, on the other hand, is still searching for its identity. New coach Tyler Marsh is untested. The roster has talent, but it's scattered. No clear leader, no real system yet. Clark's not just a piece, she's the engine. And now she has the tools to make that engine run hot. That's a scary place for opponents, with her new goal being to become a strong leader.
I think for myself, going into year 2, I think just being a good leader, I think that's, when you're the point guard, you got to be the strongest voice on the floor. So I think at times that's where I struggled last year, just coming in as a rookie. Like, you don't know when to use your voice. You don't know when to listen to your vets. You don't know the best way to handle a lot of those situations. So I think just learning and growing through that, I think just being a really good leader is my main goal. And obviously I want to play good basketball, but I think winning is the most fun part of this game that we get to play. So that's what it is for me.
Let's backtrack a little bit to 2023. You remember when LSU beats Iowa? Angel Reese taunts Clark on national TV. It sparked everything. The celebration, the memes, the rivalry. That moment became personal for both of them.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Then came 2024. Clark answered. She dropped buckets. She kept her cool. She didn't taunt back. She just played and played well. The message was clear. She'd rather make statements with her game.
Points in the second half. She had 13 in the first half, but has picked up a triple-double here today and gets the end one.
Angel Reese had a strong year on the glass. Offensive boards, hustle plays, energy. But when matched against skilled guards, her impact shrank. That's not hate, it's fact. Chennedy Carter's cheap shot on Clark went viral, but what people noticed more was Clark's response. She didn't react emotionally, she went back to work. That's maturity, that's leadership, that's the focus. The rivalry feels different now. Reese brings emotion, Clark brings evolution. One is trying to stay in the spotlight, the other is turning it into a searchlight. Can Reese catch up before Clark disappears ahead? Well, we'll find out soon. May 17th isn't just opening weekend. It's Clark versus Reese, round 3. But this one's new. This one's on a pro court, with pro stakes and no room for college theatrics. Clark may still be on a minutes limit, but she doesn't need 40 minutes to change a game. She showed that against Brazil. Her feel, her pace, her decision-making, it all causes problems.
Clark, pull up 3. You bet!
The Sky are still adjusting to Coach Marsh. They're trying to find out who they are. Meanwhile, the Fever already look like they've been playing together for months. They run sets. They trust the system. That's the Clark effect. The question isn't just how many points Clark scores, it's how much better she makes everyone else. Reese will bring energy, no doubt, but will that energy translate to wins? Watch Clark's eyes. Watch her passing. Watch how teammates move without the ball. That's where the real advantage is. That's where the early edge lives. So what comes next? Last year, Clark put up numbers. 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, 5.7 boards per game. But she also had 223 turnovers. That told the story of a rookie under pressure, figuring things out. This year, expect those turnovers to drop. Not just because she's better, but because her teammates are. Better catchers, better finishers. That means smarter passes, fewer mistakes. If her team finishes more of her passes, Clark's assists could shoot up, maybe 13 or 14 per game. That's historic territory. That's MVP talk. She's not just chasing awards, she's chasing wins, she's chasing playoff games, she's chasing control of the league, and she's doing it with a team that's now built to support her goals. Clark used to be a media darling. Now she's a basketball machine, quietly becoming the most prepared, most complete, most impactful guard in the WNBA. And it's just beginning. Like and subscribe if you watch till the end, and hit the notification bell to get more WNBA updates. Thanks for watching.